that's where we started our podcast, talking about New Year's resolutions and how many people set them. I think it was like 76% of people set them.
Yeah,
only 9%, right, actually achieve them. And that's that starting strong, but then disappearing. Like, that is a real thing. And a lot of us are about to walk through that right now. Hey ladies, welcome to the She's Rooted podcast.
We're about to get real unscripted.
So pull up a chair. Let's get to the root of it. What's up, Mo?
Hi.
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Excited to get a little spicy on this episode. I have some exciting things that we're going to talk about.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, it's going to be like an unpacking, I think. Because last time, remember how we were talking about like the unrooted woman? Mm-hmm. And then I dropped on our podcast, I was saying how sometimes you're not stuck, you're just buried. Okay, so I thought we'd talk about all of the things that bury us. That's what I want to talk about today. So I feel like it could get spicy. At least that's always the hope, right?
I mean, I'm excited to hear what's spicy that buries you, because when I think buried, I think I can't breathe.
Yeah. I'm thinking spicy in the mindset of it's not always going to feel good to like hear the words because you can relate to it. So like spicy and like saying the things that you need to hear, not what is going to coddle you. Like raw, real. You know how we are.
Yeah.
Maybe spicy wasn't the right word, but we used it. So now I'm trying to make meaning of it.
I mean, it might turn out to be spicy. I never know. We never know.
We don't know. But
that's what makes it great.
Yeah. So let's talk about, sometimes as women, we feel like we're stuck. We have like all these reasons, 101 reasons why we can't do something, when if we really took an honest look, is it that we can't do something, or is it that we have allowed all of the things to bury us to make it seem like we can't do it? But if we remove some things and we take an honest conversation with ourselves and we really take an honest look at what are the things that we think keep us stuck, then maybe we could realize that can be removed. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. It kind of makes me think about, I think we've talked about it before too. For me, hearing this right now kind of jumps me into the mindset of you are where you are because of the choices you've made, and taking into that place of accountability where you say like, okay, this feels like I'm buried. This feels like this feels like, and then finding the spot, that sweet spot where you go, wait a second, I put myself in all of this. Like, I'm the one that either said yes to too many things, or I'm the one that positioned myself as this person in a relationship, or I'm the one that positioned myself in this situation in business, or I'm the one, like, taking that accountability and realizing, I think that's the hard pill to swallow in this conversation. Isn't necessarily about like, I'm buried and I don't know what to do, and like all of this stuff is just on me. It's like the reality of, well, if you're feeling buried, the only one you can point the finger at is really yourself, if we're being really honest, unfortunately. Because even if you say, my work is expecting all of this of me, or my relationship is this way because my spouse or my partner or my blah, blah, blah is this way because so-and-so, like, you're the common denominator there that either hasn't set a good boundary or has positioned yourself as said person in the work relationship or in the other relationship. Like, we have to have that moment. At least for me, that's
Yeah.
where I instantly go is, okay, where do I have to stack up and take ownership? Because that's where my power is, Jamie. That's where my power lies. The minute I can take ownership of the situation
Right.
by saying like, what piece am I in charge of here? Because
Right.
that's the only piece that I can change. All the other stuff that's like variable that I have no control over. I can't change how somebody responds to me. I can't change how somebody demands something of me. I can't change how, like, yes, I can teach people how to treat me based off of that, right? But again, that's on me.
Right.
Um, so to get unburied for me is like, I mean, we can go down the track of like what buries us, but for me, it really is the reflection point of where have I played a part in this and how can I fix it?
Right. I think we've talked many times about how words are super powerful, right? And when you look at giving a word power over your choices, but you take a step back and you try to break it in half, like stuck or buried, when you look at giving all of the power around the word stuck, what that feels like for so many women could be, I mean, we could go down a whole bunch of different paths, right? But I have a couple things written here that like you can just kind of pick up and run with whatever's speaking, to your mindset right now. But I have like what stuck feels like, knowing what to do but not doing it, starting strong but then disappearing, which we are about to come into that mindset, that realization here coming on like the tail end of 2025 going into 2026. I mean, it's where we started our podcast talking about New Year's resolutions and how many people set them. I think it was what, like 76% of people set them, but
That
only
was crazy.
9%, right, actually achieved them. And
Mm-hmm.
that's that starting strong, but then disappearing. Like that is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us are about to walk through that right now, coming into the end of the year. Feeling tired before the day even starts. I mean, I kind of already talked about that in the last podcast when we were talking about like being a night owl and like missing all my alarms. And then you're waking up and that sets the tone and the mood for the day, which then outpours into those around you. Um, Going to bed frustrated with yourself, thinking, why is this so hard? Like pointing all like there's so many outside reasons why we can't do something, and we're not really like pointing inward, right? It says a lot of women hear this and immediately think that there's just something wrong with them. Like it's not going to work out for me. Like it is what it is. Like let me just normalize not feeling great every day. Let me normalize my frustrations. This is just my life. And so has it so much easier. But just like you talked about on the last time, we're not all walking around with all these billboards where we actually know what everyone has walked through, is walking through, and how that shows up in their life, their actions, and all of that. So, like, that's what stuck can feel like. And we can obviously go into a whole bunch of other different definitions of it. But from that, like, giving that word meaning, like, where does your brain go with all of that?
With the word stuck, well, I don't like the word stuck personally.
Yeah.
I never want to be stuck. That feels like and I've been in those places where you do feel like, and it's a real feeling, like it's a genuine feeling where you feel like your back's against the wall and you are stuck and you are claustrophobic in a situation you don't want to be in. There's nothing you can do, but like I've been there. Um, and there are legitimate times, I think, and circumstances. I mean, one that pops in my head immediately is like a health circumstance. Like, I think when it comes to situations with people's health that you love or your own health, like when it is something like that where you literally can't do anything about it, like that feels stuck to me. That's like really the definition of stuck to me. That's somebody that really can't take matters into their own hands or steps other than their mindset, right? Like they just have to like get a better mindset to like deal with that situation, but they can't actually turn the tables, right? Because we are not in charge of that.
Right.
And so that's like that to me is the epitome of the definition of stuck. Somebody that would be stuck is like, I'm stuck in a health crisis or situation or circumstance. Um, but I think off the top of my head, I find it hard to find any other legitimate place where somebody's stuck.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm naive.
No, I definitely like what you were walking that down, like envisioning somebody standing up against a wall and feeling stuck. Well, we chose to stand there. If that is our reality, we're the ones standing up against the wall. So did we choose that, or are we really stuck? Because if you're standing up against a wall, couldn't you just move, right? Versus feeling like everything is weighing on top of you, feeling buried. But if you just like take yourself out of the situation and like, am I stuck? No, I can move. I can do this. I can control what I can. The end of your quote that you always drop that I love is like that I can be
Really?
anywhere with the choices that I will make,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And you say it a million times better than I just dropped it, but it was something along the lines like that. And that's
Yeah.
so true, like looking at like what I really want us to kind of focus on for those that have walked through things or feeling stuck is just like shifting a perspective, shifting words and taking the ownership back and realizing like, well, maybe I'm not stuck. Like maybe I can control certain things that will make whatever I'm walking through feel a little bit lighter. Um, Being buried is like carrying too much. I
Mm-hmm.
always go back to that one time that you were talking about walking up the stairs, and I thought it was so powerful. And if you remember what I'm talking about, it was a while ago. It was like one of our first episodes that I think we ran through, and you were talking about holding all these luggage, and you're like trying to like walk up all of these stairs, and you're struggling because you're carrying so many things that are not really serving you, and you're like, just put the luggage down, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do feel like a lot of times too that when we feel stuck doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It can also be where you feel like if you're the yes girl, you're the one that somebody is always leaning on. You're the one that shows up and like people count on you, but it's secretly draining you because you don't have your boundaries set properly and you are constantly showing up in life half empty, but you always are the yes girl, always are the yes girl. And it feels good to be that yes girl, but at the end of the night, you're literally like just drowning in, I don't even know if that's the right word, but like, you know what I'm trying to say? So when we feel stuck, it could also be it's not serving your path, it's not serving your purpose, it's not serving your passion, it's not greater things ahead for you. You feel good that you're making things greater for other people, but it is holding you back, but you keep showing up for it. So like that's kind of like that. You're like running in like the quicksand of things, and you're always that yes person that people lean on, and because over here it feels good to be that person that's the one that they call on, but in reality it's not helping you move forward or anything. Like it's that whole like vacuum and like battery thing where you know what I mean, where it's like it's draining you, but you still show up for it because why? I don't know. Putting
Yeah.
yourself last. And that's a big thing with me. I'm always talking about you got to wake up and put your yes first. Period.
Mm,
And I think it's hard for a lot of women to do that. It's hard for moms to do that. It's hard for
yeah.
career women to do that, especially when you want something bigger and you're willing to put the work in for it, and you can't want something more than the person that you're trying to help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's very true. That's very true. I think that it's also hard for women because I think we are inundated daily with this idea that everything has to be like so big and done such a way. Like we've talked about it in the past with working out. Like it's one of my biggest pet peeves about the health and wellness industry after being in it so long is that I think that it's a disservice the way that there's so many programs and um, I guess I'll just stay with the word programs, but like for the woman that's like, I need to put my yes first for my health and I need to work out, it's like this all or nothing. But if I can't go to the gym for an hour and a half and I can't do it this specific way or I don't have the right program, then I can't do it. And they don't put themselves first. Where I'm very much of the school of thought and belief that like if you actually just got up and like, walked up and down your stairs in the very beginning 20 times and then took the farther parking spot and then maybe did some push-ups at night and some sit-ups, like the little things that where you can catch those little wins when you're starting to try to put your yes first. That's like a fitness example, but it could be anything for the woman that's like, well, I know that I would be better if I got up in the morning, but I'm just too buried, I can't get up, I'm not getting any sleep, I'm not this, I'm not that. um and when I watch this person, they're saying like I should get up and do this whole 45-minute routine in the morning and then I should be able to like be ready for like, again, I'm very much of the school of thought that like, well, what if actually the thing that's going to move the needle further for you in life, like what if you just gave that 5 minutes of time ahead of your alarm clock and you focus just 5 solid minutes of focus on that thing, and then next week you did 10 minutes. And then the next week you did 15 minutes. And before you know it, you're waking up 20 minutes before your alarm clock and you're getting 20 more minutes of focused energy on the thing that's actually going to move the needle in your life, that's going to help get you unburied, that's going to help get you unstuck. But because I feel like we're inundated in our society, it's going to be this big thing. It stops women from just doing those little things. And that's that slight edge. That's that little
Yep.
thing that moves the needle further and closer to where you want to be.
That's so good. Oh, that was so good, Mo. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
need you to like, if you're listening to this, let's hit that like reverse 15 seconds, probably like 4 times. Go back, listen to it, and then come back. Hi, we're here again. I'm glad you
Yeah.
listened to it twice. Um, it's so true though. It's the small wins that add up to the big movements in your life. It's the small I cans that start to crush the I can'ts in your life. Like it's the problem is though, Monique, is we live in a day and age where everybody is this like guru for it. So you get this like analysis by paralysis, perfection mindset. And the thing is, not everybody's always showing you the messy middles of everything. And you don't just wake up and it's like bam, like you have all your ducks in a row and you're like crushing everything. It's you have to crush one thing, something before you can crush all of the things. It's like just like walking up stairs.
It's got to be manageable and doable and something that like especially if you're somebody, at least for me, when I've been in places where I feel stuck, it makes me want to cry, or like when I've been in places where I feel buried or overwhelmed, you're not the most confident in those places. You're pretty beat up, for the most part. And I think the fastest way to get confidence in something and the fastest way to boost your own confidence and your own trust in yourself and to make a pivot and to make a change is to get a little win. You just need a little win. So for me, if I'm again, we'll use fitness because it's easy, but like if that's my goal is to, change the trajectory of my health and do this fitness thing, like for me to actually sit back if I'm feeling buried and go, okay, I need the perfect plan and then I need the perfect meal plan and I need the this and I need the that. Um, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, somebody's calling, sorry. That's adding more stress and more overwhelm. Am I saying that that's bad? No. And is that something you could build up to? Sure. Is that something that you need? no, I don't think so. I think so in that time to take that little win and go, okay, if for this first week I just get up 5 minutes earlier and I do, like I said, a couple push-ups and maybe I walk my stairs a couple times, and then for the day I try to increase my water, it's manageable and doable for me to do that. And I do that for a week. By the end of that week, I'm already going to feel more confident. Because why? Because I stuck to my word. I stuck to my commitment to myself. And it was something, now I got that under my belt. So if next week I just need to focus on that again, because I'm still really trying to dig out and get unburied, then that's fine. But you're going to get to a point where you're like, okay, now I can like cut back on sugar because I've done this. And now I can, and you start to increase. And then by the end of it, now it's become this lifestyle. It's just part of who you are, and your time stretches. And I just feel like we really, especially as women, because we're mostly like, well, I'll just pile this on me. And like you said, like carrying the luggage, like I'll just put this, let me just put this on my plate now. And oh my gosh, how am I supposed to, you see those meme all the time. How am I supposed to like run the kids here and there and make nutritious dinners and juggle a business and love my husband and lose 45 pounds and have it, like you see those, right? And it's like,
Right.
I'm just trying to do all, well, how are you supposed to do that? It doesn't all have to be big. It doesn't all have to be extra. It doesn't all have to be perfect. It just has to get done. Done is better than perfect, right? And I feel like that for me personally is where my belief comes in, that slight edge, it truly is, it will build your character, it will build your confidence, because you're keeping your own promises, which then boosts your energy, which boosts your mood, which boosts all, it all interacts with each other, so I don't know, I feel like that was a tangent off of what we were talking about stock, but
I, you know
um
me, I love the tangents. They're so good. No,
yeah.
it's true though. You look at buried, could be overwhelmed, like all of these things, and I love that you talked about like you just make those like small changes that can help build in confidence, build in belief, build up your energy, build up better mood. And if you look on the flip side of that, when you are feeling like you're overwhelmed and you have the entire world laying on top of you and you feel like buried in every decision to where it's like I can't do the all of the things. I feel
Right.
stuck. I feel overwhelmed. Like I just like don't want to deal with anything. That costs you energy. That costs you mindset. That costs you the now of where you're at with the choices that you can make, because you've wrapped yourself around this I can't mentality, or I will put it on to tomorrow. I'll take care of that tomorrow. Everything is tomorrow, but we're not promised tomorrow.
Hmm.
So if it's important to you today, do something small that can help your tomorrow be better. Instead of I'm
Right.
going to do it tomorrow, what am I going to do today that can make tomorrow just a little bit better, just 1 degree better?
Yeah, it's that slight edge. It's definitely, and giving yourself grace. And I think if we're honest with each other, and if
That's the hard
you're
part.
if you're a woman that listens to this podcast, or a dude, whatever, like I think for the most part, you realize we are very much like rooted is this essential belief that like if you could listen to your gut, if you could really kind of like be honest with yourself and have those hard conversations with yourself and like assess things, I think if you could learn to trust yourself too and give yourself permission to stray from a rule, right? Like I feel like there's so many rules that everyone's trying to like get in, like if I'm gonna work out, I gotta do it this way. If I'm gonna do a morning, I gotta do it this way. If I'm gonna do it, and being rooted in yourself means like I have a plan for the week. I'm going to be flexible within that plan. And I'm also going to listen to myself. And again, I'm going to just stay in the fitness wheelhouse because it's easier. But like Tuesday, I worked out. Wednesday, I was like, I'm like, okay, I have a plan to definitely hit the sauna. If I'm feeling good, I'm going to work out. If not, I'm going to work out on Thursday. I'm going to fit it in because I know I also need to recover. And if my body, like, I'm also at that age where it's like, if I need a longer time to recover, then I'm not going to stick myself to this like rigid plan for the sake of a rigid plan. I'm going to go for a walk instead. I'm going to do like giving yourself this this idea of like, okay, all movement is movement, all movement matters. And in the slight edge of things, if I can just move every day, I'm going to be healthier a year from now than if I say I can only move this way. And if I can't move this way, I'm not moving that way at all. How many workouts are you going to miss that year? And how much of a disservice are you doing versus saying like all movement matters is, again, we're going into the new year and people are going to set their resolutions. What if your resolution was wrapped around that if fitness or weight loss is a thing for you? Like all movement matters. So whether that means that day you take a walk or that day you go up and down your stairs a trillion times or that day you do some push-ups or that day you actually hit the gym and crush a workout or that day you go try a different class, like all movement matters. And that mentality I think really can help somebody get unstuck. I believe that can free you if you let it from the self abuse you're doing because you're beating yourself up for not hitting the gym right. You're beating yourself up for being in the situation you're in and not being able to dig out.
Right. Self-abandonment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think how amazing would it feel if you looked at where you're at in your life and where you wanted to go and you created some non-negotiables that were
Yeah.
absolutely realistic. And you
Yes.
didn't make them these big monumental huge things. You made them small and you gave yourself that flex that these are my non-negotiables. I have 7 days to make them happen, and you take a step back and you look at what are the things that I have to do? What are the things that I need to do? What are the things that I want to do? And you look at your calendar and you schedule yourself within the I have to, I need to, and I want to. And these are the things that are going to move my life forward. These are my non negotiables for this particular goal that are realistic, that I'm not setting myself up for failure. I'm going to remove this thing off of my table of feeling buried. And if I remove this one thing, I can then put something else on my table that will serve me, that will build my mindset, that will build my confidence, that will build my belief, and it will build my life in a direction that is meaningful to me. So
Mhm.
if you look at it like that, how amazing would it feel if you picked one thing, you made it a non-negotiable, you looked at your life in a whole picture and you put those non-negotiables on your schedule and you showed the hell up for it. And I'm going to do you one step further. What's going to hold your toes to that non negotiable fire that you're about to set in your life, which is going to be a good fire? You share it with somebody that will tell you the truth. And they're going to tell it to you with grit, grind, and a little bit of grace. But they're not going to let you get out of what you say is important to you so easy. They're going to remind you, but you said this was your non negotiable, and you also share why it's your non-negotiable. You have to have a purpose worth fighting for because if you don't, you're going to give up on yourself. I've been there, we've all been there, and we just allow ourselves an out. And when we put too much on the plate, we're also doing that so that we have a million excuses. We have too much on our plate, we can't do it. We're stuck, we can't do it. So don't set yourself up for failure. Take that step forward and then one step further, share it with someone in the circle of your life that, or I should say, corner of your life that will hold your toes to the fire so that you can. And how amazing would it feel if you crushed it at the end of your week? As simple as water, simple as 3 workouts a week, whatever it looks like for you, whatever's important to you. You want to write a book. I'm going to spend 3 hours out of all of my hours in the week trying to be super intentional with what I really want to write out in the book I want to write. Like you need to have tangible things, but realistic so
Mhm.
that it does move things forward. And as you
Mhm.
start to do that, then you can take other things that are not serving you off your table of life. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's kind of like
that's
what I
good.
envisioned.
Yeah, that's good. I think that first step, is if you're listening today and you are feeling stuck or you are feeling buried, first taking a look and go, is this like we always talk about, is this true? Am I actually stuck?
Right.
There's a couple sides to that coin. There's been places and times where I've talked with other women, other people, and also I've noticed it in myself where I'm like, I'm so stuck, I'm so trapped. but actually you've been offered a bunch of different outs and you've actually said no to all of them. So therefore you're just being stubborn and staying in said situation. Again, that's ownership you need to be aware of and say, like, I'm not stuck, I'm actually choosing this. And that in alone of itself is power, because that at that point puts things into proper perspective, right?
Right.
Instead of that, because the minute you say stuck, at least for me, say stuck or buried, I feel anxiety. Like I feel anxiety, my everything starts to fire up. And if you're walking in that constantly when you don't need to be, that's also a problem. So if we can
Right.
reframe and see
Right.
proper perspective and go, okay, body, calm down. We're not actually stuck. I actually have a lot of options. I just don't like them. So we're here for right now. Right. And we're gonna go
Yeah.
here. Like that changes your body's response
Right.
to your life. Instead of
Right.
waking up every day feeling depressed or stuck or stressed, you're like, okay, this is what it is right now because I didn't like any of the other options. So we're gonna muck through this until we get to the option I like, right? Like that's the real story. Um, but I
Could
think
I
that's
add it to your perspective that you're going to run with? And I know you are. What if it is you're comfortable? What if it is you're fearful of what it looks like to be unstuck from a certain situation because you're unsure on what is waiting for you on the other side of that movement? What if
yeah,
it's that? What if that
yeah,
creates the reason why you're standing still in the environment that you are?
yeah.
Okay,
I
run
think
with
that's
it.
all. I think that's happens for a lot of people a lot of times. But the problem for me, the what I see is that the problem with that scenario is only a problem when you don't when you're not aware of it. When you're not aware of it and you feel stuck and all, like that's again, you're firing. The minute you realize, like, I'm probably here because I'm terrified to take a step in any other direction. I know this. I'm good here. This is comfortable to me. It's not my best. It's not my favorite situation. It's not my, but like I know it, like, so I'll just stay here because I don't know what's over there. I could jump over there and it could be awful and well, also, it could be freaking amazing and you could be holding it. So now, to me, your next step in that is to look at both options and go, okay, which am I going to choose to believe? And here's the thing. I'm going to either choose to believe it could be terrible and I'm going to wish I could go back, or it's going to be freaking amazing and blow my mind. And I'm going to be so glad I did this. Now I'm going to choose one of those paths. And here's the thing. Now you just take the walk down the path, and all of life is a constant, we cross that bridge when we get to it, right?
Right.
Like if you don't start stepping at least on one of those tracks, like it's going to be worse or it's going to be better, you stay stuck. And now you're here. If you start walking, at least, now my grandma always said, like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. When you don't start walking, you're trying to cross a bridge you've never even reached yet. You don't know if that bridge is awful in death or if that bridge is wonderful in life. You've just preconceived and prejudged that you're that there's a bridge that you don't want to cross, so you're going to stay right here. You haven't even moved. So for me, I think having the awareness and realizing it and then going like, okay, you know what? And I'm wired this way. So if you hate it, you hate it. Like I know I've been told it a million times. Why so happy? Why so joyful? Why so positive? Like, nah, it can't be real. No, it's real. I'm gonna choose that's gonna be better. I'm gonna choose I don't like where I am.
I want to be
And
happy. Sorry.
this thing I'm gonna choose to walk this path. And you know what? If it's not, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
But you have to cross the bridge to figure it out if it is or if it isn't. You have to do that.
You have to take
There's a
that first
reason
step.
why it's sitting on your heart to do something, to move, to be unstuck, to
Yeah.
show up and see.
Yeah.
Don't let fearfulness to stifle you in your action. Like,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
like when you were talking and
Oh, someone just posted something that said that fear, well, I think it was like fear of death. Fear of death doesn't rob you of death, it robs you of living.
amen.
And that like can be literal death, right? Those of us that are fearing literal death, when you're just afraid to die, you're actually just not even living at this point. Like
Right.
fear didn't rob you of your actual death because you are going to die. It's robbed you of living in the now. But that could be of anything. That could be fear of death of a relationship, of a business, of a whatever. Like that fear of that is actually robbing you of the life you're supposed to have in that,
Right. Yeah.
So good.
That's so good. That's truth right there. Mic drop.
Mhm. So good.
Yeah, I think identifying, we're going to have lots of roots in our life, ladies, and identifying the roots that are going to grow, like if you put it in like mindset of actual roots and you're thinking of like trees and plants and flowers and all that, right? Like there are beautiful trees in this life that we get to see that have deep, strong roots. And there's also weeds that have roots. And the problem is, if you don't pull those weeds, what happens? They grow right on back. And then they start to overpopulate things. And then instead of focusing on what is beautiful over here, you're constantly weeding your garden out. Where if you just pull it by the root, and maybe you got to freaking get like some weed spray. You need to call in your reinforcements so that it doesn't grow back. Like I know what you are. You're not taking ownership in my life. You're dead. You're gone. Pull it out and then spray it. Then we can focus on all the great things that are supposed to grow in our life.
Hmm.
You know, not to be all like cheesy with like
I love
plants and
cheesy.
rooted and all that.
I love
But like
cheesy.
it's good to envision things when you're trying to put a meaning to a word, output a tree and whatever's great in your life. Like you look at that, what you water will grow. Don't water the weeds.
Yeah.
You don't need to tend to the weeds. You just need to call it what it is and you need to pull it.
Yeah.
But yeah, rooted isn't about being perfect, Mo. It's never going to be.
Oh no, I'm so far from perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So happy, so perfect. No struggle in life, have it all figured out.
No,
Wouldn't that be nice? But that's not life. That's not real life.
no.
Rooted is about being aware. It is about taking personal ownership for what's important to you. It's about being aligned in what matters.
Mm-hmm.
And your seasons shift throughout your life.
Mm-hmm.
Alignment moves with your growth. So focusing on all of that, making choices that are going to light you up, not dim you down. But I think that it's all about priorities. And it doesn't mean that it's easy always to make those decisions,
Yeah.
especially for women, because when you're putting your yes first, you're putting what's right for you first, for your four walls, for your family, for your future, for your growth, for everything, for what you know is good for you. Sometimes it's really hard to actually follow through with it because you have too many things buried on top of you. This person's opinion, what's this person going to say? How is this going to affect that? Or I can't do this because of this past that, has a hold on me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it is selfish to not put yourself first in this life. It really is. And those in your circle, those that love and care about you, they're going to root you on and be happy for being able to breathe through it, like, and do what's right for you. So don't be afraid to actually take a good look at where you're at, what you feel has a hold around your movement. And then everything, like just like peanut butter and jelly go together, problems and solutions go together. So if we have a problem in our life, what is the solution? And when you look at it and you don't do anything about it and you stay where you are, you're not stuck. You're choosing to stand where you're at. I don't know about you. I don't like to be buried.
Nope.
Like I need a calmer, happier, more joyful every day. Like that's the focus.
Yeah.
And when life is hitting hard, I just throw on my good music.
Rock the
Shift it up.
playlist.
Rock the playlist.
Dance it out. When in doubt, dance it out.
Hey, very good. But yeah, I'm so glad that we unpacked the being stuck, being buried, throwing on the mindset of words have words that we give meaning to, take ownership over, mindset. Anything that you want to leave the ladies with this topic? You want to?
No,
No?
I think that's it. I think we said a lot. Um,
Very
and
good.
I'm hopeful, and I'm hopeful that if, you know, you're still listening, that you know that we're here cheering for you to get rooted in your own morals and values and vision, because where there's no vision, the people perish, right? So getting rooted in your vision for your life and in your pillars that really solidify who you are and how you want to show up and how you want to live. Just getting rooted in those alone will help you kind of get unburied, because chances are you're carrying a lot of stuff that don't even align with your pillars, and they're things that you think you should be carrying or doing. And when you sit down and actually give yourself those, set the timer and give yourself 10 minutes to just get rooted in that for yourself, and then kind of look at the stuff you're carrying and say, does this even fit in these buckets? Does this even fit in the things that matter to me? And have the courage to put down the things that don't, and have the courage to stand in that. I really think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how beautiful your life turns out, and also how the rest of the world doesn't burn down when you set it down. Like, those
Yeah.
things shall find someone else to take care of them. Promise
Yes.
you. Promise you.
Promise. Yes, that's so good. We're gonna mic drop it right there. I'm really excited to come back and keep this topic rolling, and like
Too.
let's keep piling that forward and just really navigating through this beautiful thing that we get to call life. And
Amen.
I love it. I appreciate you so much, Mo. I love
Love you. Thank you.
everything that you
So
dropped.
good.
Appreciate you so freaking good. I'm gonna challenge the girls that are listening to drop something in the comments, something that really spoke loud to you, something that maybe you're like, this perspective I need to share with those girls. I need to share with this community.
Yeah.
Drop it. Like, it's all
Yeah.
about growth. It's all about a great, real, honest, raw conversation. And that's how
Yeah.
we get through everything. So drop those comments below. And how about we see them next week, Mo? What do you think?
Sounds good.
That's great. All right. Love you, girl. We'll talk to you.
Bye.
Bye. We hope that landed. If it did, drop a comment, share it up. And you know what? We'll see you next week. Until then.